Greetings everyone, I'm GC Smith and welcome to War on the Top. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that's been rather controversial over the last weekend, something I just found out about recently, and it only really applies to North America, most of this. However, there is a bit of this which could theoretically apply to every Warhammer 140k Lord of the Rings, possibly player out there, so that's why I'm doing this, even as a British person. And besides, just because it only really affects America and Canada doesn't mean, I shouldn't be doing this. You are still brothers in arms in gaming, so I should still be doing this kind of stuff for you guys, so you know all about it if you don't normally go out to blogs and you only really go to YouTube. So this is for you. Now to start off with, I want to say that I'm not quite sure if this has actually been a change overall, but basically Games Workshop have recently sent a new contract to all their official suppliers, independent retailers, all that kind of stuff, that has basically said that North America and Canada, well, actually I don't even know if it applies really to Canada, but I definitely know it applies to North America, that you can no longer sell Games Workshop products on your website. You cannot do that. You can say on your website, if you have one for your store, that you have products in your store from Games Workshop, but you can't technically officially sell them there. Obviously there are ways people will get around it, well, okay, we won't actually sell them on the website. What you do is email us what you want, pay us through PayPal, and we'll ship it to you, because Games Workshop can't stop posting it through the mail, which makes sense, because if you want to send it as a birthday present, a Christmas present, and so on, they can't physically stop you sending stuff through the mail. So there's not much they can do about that. So there are ways people will try and get around it, but the downside is obviously you can't sell it online. People are going, well, that's a shame because I only buy my stuff online. I only buy it for the 10-20% discount because Games Workshop's prices are going up, and I want to be able to make savings. And this is all well and good, but Games Workshop have come out and said, well, actually the reason we're doing this isn't because our prices are necessarily going up, although that would be a root cause of this. It is, we want to be able to keep supporting local retailers, the small independent retailers that maybe don't have the storage space to be able to sell online en masse and supply their store. And they can only look after their stores, so people, they want to help these stores out because they can't compete with these big online retailers, can't offer those savings, and these stores are often losing out. Which, if that is happening, makes sense. These stores are providing gaming space, painting space, maybe run introductory sessions, ways to get people into hobby. The online sales are just selling to existing wargamers. They're not really doing much to get new wargamers in. And obviously Games Workshop want more wargamers, so they can run events like Games Day and be successful. So they can get people that might come into a local Games Workshop store that spend money, and to keep the wargaming alive for years to come. There's no point making money now if there's no one to play in the future, which again makes sense. Obviously, this is just me trying to be impartial. There is that evidence to say they're just trying to clamp down on sales and get most of the money going through their site. There's also that's a reason behind it. They want to just be able to make all the money through their website and therefore make it all at 100% retail rather than wholesale prices. But the problem is they're not stopping sales to independent retailers. They still want independent retailers to buy the product. So obviously they don't mind selling at wholesale, so the idea that they just want to make all the money through their website is kind of wrong, because there's still going to be local retailers, there's still going to be things, and this will, I would argue, open up new retailers, to allow new retailers to open. If you've got a town that doesn't have a Games Workshop official retailer in America or Canada, or a region where there's no one in nearby, well, everyone there was already buying from the internet, now they can't buy from the internet. You can open a new retail store and know that they'll come to you, hopefully. And there's a greater chance they'll come to you, which means you can put a gaming space there, you can afford to run all this, and it benefits the local community because it's now an official gaming space, tables, terrain, tournaments possibly, support in that local area for the game, which obviously makes the game a lot more enjoyable, it's more people to get into the game, benefits the hobby on a whole. Yes, you have to pay higher prices, possibly, but there is a fair reason for that as well. I'm not going to go into the reason why Games Workshop prices aren't necessarily all draconian, that I've been told. I'm not saying I believe them, but they're what I've been told. Second part of this video is actually the big one, because obviously some people have been, it's kind of been banned, the sale of online products before in America, and I think people said that was just updating it to go to Canada. The big change here is the sale of Bitz. Games Workshop officially said to retailers now, you can no longer sell our products in bits. You can't open up our products and sell little bits off. And people again are going, well, that's just evil draconian Games Workshop trying to make more money because they want you to buy the whole kit instead of a little bit. However, retailers in places like Europe where they're not affected by this, Games Workshop haven't put this law out in the EU and in Britain, have said actually no. Talking about the head office, we've talked to head office, and what they're saying is that actually it's to do, a lot of it is to do with safety. When Games Workshop bits on a sprue, they want a sprue nice and safe. The packaging they come in says this isn't suitable for young people, that can get choked on the bits or injured on bits because they don't know how to handle them properly. So these, they're protected legally. And you're in America, the country that loves to sue people because their coffee was hot when you ordered a coffee or you put a cat in the microwave. So they need to make sure they're safe. So how do you do that? By saying, well, think about it. If there's a chance that we could be sued because our bit is sold by this store, a little small bit, individually, and a child gets choked on that bit, we're liable despite the fact we have no control of that being in a box with safe labelling. We could get sued. So they're saying, well, let's stop this bit sale. But that's not just the big thing, obviously. There is the part where actually we might want to get people to buy new boxes of stuff to get that one bit. Now that would be what I would agree to, yes. That makes good business. Well, alienates the customer, but it's good business sense to sell £60 box instead of a £2 bit. However, Games Workshop have recently had on their website, I don't know whether it's for UK or US or both, but they're looking for components managers, warehouse components managers. Basically, components, i.e. bits, little bits of the Games Workshop, like, arms, legs, manager. Now, why would you need that unless you're going into the bits market? Games Workshop might finally come up with a way to get bits out on sale, like maybe not all the range, but specific parts of the range in bits, like you can order certain popular arms, legs, backpacks. Some of that you can already do, but on special, like, they cut their moulded sprues, whatever they do. This is a way to get them, now that maybe just one or two arms and legs you want, delivered to your local Games Workshop store. Maybe they finally come up with a way to get that going. So you ban the bits, you look for a manager, and boom, that's what it could lead to. That's what it's hinting at, and a lot of people are believing that's what it's going to be going to. Now, I'm not going to say that that is guaranteed, but on the news and rumour level, that is worthy of speaking about here. Because I remember playing when I first got to hobby 8 years ago this year, that there were bits to order. I could order, and I did, for my Black Templar bikers, Grey Knight Power Sword arms to represent the power swords. And that's going to be amazing to get bits back, to be able to do all these custom works, because I can actually order the bits rather than have to buy a whole kit, and I can go officially to Games Workshop for this. Yes, please, I don't have to pay some stupid overpriced something online. I mean, I'm not saying that all the places that sell bits are overpriced, obviously they're not, but a lot of them I've overpriced, or I have to pay shipping fees which aren't feasible for me being in the UK, because a lot of these places are in America. Or the fact that I would rather give the money directly to the Games Workshop as a supporter, and because, well, if I'm going to buy other stuff online eventually, which I may have to in the future, that would be a way to support them. Plus, it's fair enough that Games Workshop want to bring back bits. It's great for them to bring it back. Not everyone wants to be able to have to order online. If you can order the bits in store, great. You can just go to your local store and order the bits rather than have to go online to a website, use a credit card. Some people are too young to do that. Little kids may want bits for conversion, like 11, 12, 13-year-olds may want to get the bits for conversion. They can't necessarily do that online. They can do it in the store, which again is great support for the hobby. More people doing conversion work, more beautiful armies on the table, no matter the age of the player, which I think is great for the hobby. Yes, there's the tinfoil hat stuff of trying to make money, even if the bits doesn't come out. But again, there's a safety issue. There are loads of issues involved. And I'm not necessarily going to say that Games Workshop is the big evil draconian company, because they're not necessarily. Yes, we can believe that, but it doesn't really mean necessarily that's what's happening. I just want to tend to have an open mind, especially if I'm coming to you as a media member on YouTube. I don't want to have to be massively biased. I mean, I don't want to say they're evil or they're innocent. I reckon their prices are getting a bit too high at the moment, especially as a student, and I can see that really hurting little kids' armies, but bringing bits back may help something. Be able to actually convert things from boxes or use spare bits combined with bits you order can make the hobby a little bit cheaper. So that's all great. Now, as I was saying, I've been waffling for a bit. What are your opinions? Obviously, put down in the comments below what you think about this change to the sale online, bits thing. Do you reckon there could be a new bits market, and what do you think that could be beneficial if Games Workshop bring out their bits as well? What's your opinion? Don't forget to like the video if you like it, subscribe if you want to see more, check out my other videos on my channel, and I'll see you next time.